Can you imagine what it means to have no cares, no worries, no anxieties, but merely to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time? This is how Jesus begins chapter 15. Again, can you imagine what it means to have no cares, no worries, no anxieties, but merely to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time? He's saying this because we can achieve this, and we will achieve this. To have no cares, no worries, no anxieties, merely to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time. Feels like a mantra to me. Can you imagine what it means to have no cares, no worries, no anxieties, merely to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time? Sounds awesome. He goes on to say, yet that is what time is for, to learn just that and nothing more. This is what we're here to do, to learn this, to learn to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time. What if you woke up in the morning and thought, this is what today is for. I'm going to learn how to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time, all day long. No cares, no worries, no anxieties. All right. It's going to be a good day. So he says this is what time is for, to learn this and nothing more. Not only do we want to learn this, he's saying want to learn just this. You don't want to learn something else. You don't want to teach yourself something else too. Because that's often what we do. We're like, oh yeah, I definitely want to be calm and quiet. As long as I can still have some grievances and some judgments and a few issues, a few problems. Talks about this. He says, God's teacher cannot be satisfied with his teaching until this constitutes all your learning, to be perfectly calm and quiet. He has not fulfilled his teaching function until you have become such a consistent learner that you learn only of him. And this is a high goal, but it's a worthy goal. Good thing to go for. And no cares, no worries, no anxieties. To perfectly calm and quiet all the time. Even these words are like a balm to the soul, calming troubled mind. It's so simple. This is all we're here to do. There's no sense of pressure around it. He's not even really telling us we need to be perfect. He's just saying this is what time is for, to learn that this is all we want. How do we learn that? Each time we're not perfectly calm, we remember that it's this quietness in the soul that we want.
Can he sing like a lullaby to our mind all the time?
That's what this feels like. Singing to the innocent baby, innocent sweet child. It feels like, that level of care. Baby needs most constant care, almost constant love. Just to be with it. Baby doesn't need to figure things out. Just gets to rest and receive, to be cared for. I saw a little clip of a movie the other day. It's the story of Moses, where he was, as a baby, put in a basket to float down the river. That basket that was carrying him just took him exactly where he needed to go. We're being carried right where we need to go. It's another great movie of being carried in the water to where your destination is, Job versus the volcano. At a time, he seems to be stranded in the ocean. Kind of a desperate spot. But the ocean takes him right where he needs to go. Again, from one perspective, it seems kind of worrisome. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of food or a lot of water. Drifting for some amount of days out on the open sea, open ocean. But it's also beautiful. He has this experience of the love of God, of a light that is beyond his self, but so close to him at the same time. And what does he do? He just expresses gratitude. Even though outwardly, again, it doesn't look so great right then. He's so grateful. Yeah, there's a few really beautiful scenes in that movie. That's one of the tops. It's just such a clear moment of flow and allowance and openness. He just gives himself over to that bigger light. It's an experience that's beyond understanding. It really fits so beautifully with what we're looking at today. This opening of the chapter. Can you imagine what it means to have no cares, no worries, no anxieties, but merely to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time. And the way that we experience that is we lift up everything that's not at peace. And at the end of a big meal, what do you have to do? You have to clear the table. You have to take all the dirty dishes away. You got to put them in the sink. That's how it gets clean. All we have to do the same thing with our mind. You know, if you only cleared off part of the table after a meal, it would be kind of weird because you'd have to come back to that table and it'd be dirty, kind of messy. If they've done it for a while, maybe there's food drying onto the table. I don't know. It's kind of gross. Well, why do you want to let your mind, your soul, be dirtier than you would a kitchen table? You don't have to. Maybe there's some plates on the table you're just not sure you want to clean. It is going to lead you into some amount of suffering. And this is why it's always this beautiful, gentle, encouraging invitation to clean the plates. What's that gross plate in your mind? You know, maybe we can change the analogy a little and think of it like instead of the cleaning off the table, like cleaning the house. If you think of the list of sort of the household tasks that you have, there's usually one, maybe a few that are on the list, but you just hardly ever get to them. Oh, yeah, I was going to do that. Been meaning to do that for a long time. Well, again, it's because there's something in you that is reluctant, afraid, doesn't want to deal with it. This is a great analogy. Again, it's just like the mind. If there's something in you that you don't want to deal with, you don't really want to look at, you don't really want to think about, it's a good bet that this is a perfect candidate for some cleaning. You know, in the house, maybe it's like the back of the closet. You never organize, or under the bed, never clean. I don't know, outside of the window, you just never get around to. There's something, there's always something. It's just like you want a clean kitchen table. You want your house to be really nice, your home to be really nice. You know, why is the interior of your being any less important to clean? It is not. I'm going to tell you, it is not less important to clean your mind, clean your feelings, clean your soul, clean everything that's inside. Again, let's get very specific. Who is it that you haven't forgiven? You might already have one or maybe a few people come to mind right when I say that. Okay, these are your teachers. Don't shy away from this. Don't just try to close the door again. but use this. How do we use it? Pray for healing. Ask Holy Spirit to heal your perception of this person or these people. If you are not feeling complete and total love for this person, for these people, this is where your healing is. Even thinking about this might be bringing up resistance for you, but don't avoid this. This is where your path to peace is. This is your most direct place for finding a shift into happiness and love. We have a friend here visiting us, and we've been talking with her about how looking at the stickiest parts has been super intense. It's brought up so much resistance, so much struggle. But it has led to the most openness, the largest shift in her experience into joy and happiness. So just know that you want to go into this. You want the peace that you find on the other side of this healing. There's no shortcut around it. There's no way to sidestep it, to pretend you're fine with it when you're really not. No. You can lie to a lot of people, but you cannot lie to Holy Spirit. You can even lie to yourself. You can convince yourself that you don't have a problem. But let's get real. Get real with yourself. Get real with Holy Spirit. Don't hold anything back. Spirit sees it all already anyway. It doesn't judge you at all for it. But the healing can't move through without you being willing to bring it forward. So find that bit of bravery, that bravery that's inside of you. It is there. Ask, ask Spirit, what is the path of forgiveness here? Maybe this is someone you really hate. It's intense. Oh, this is a really good person to work on. In a previous relationship, the woman I was with had gone through sexual abuse. And as she shared the story with me, obviously I could feel the intensity of it for her. But I was in a state of just complete love for her and for her attacker. And I even said to her, you know, I hear everything you're saying and I feel nothing but love for you around this. But I also feel love for the person who did this to you. I brought up a lot of upset in her too. We need to look at all of it, all of the things, even the very dark things, until we get back to this sentence. Can you imagine what it means to have no cares, no worries, no anxieties, but merely to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time? So again, no matter how intense it is, it will give way to the light. If it feels like you have trouble believing that, there's just more allowing of it to come. There's more of it to be seen with Holy Spirit. Again, he says, yet this is what time is for, to learn just this and nothing more. We think time is for a lot of things. We think time is for doing this thing and for going to that place. We fill our days and our weeks and our years with things, doings. And that's one use of time. This section is actually called the two uses of time. But here we have another use of time, merely to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time. So this is good. It's good to see what we want to use time for. Again, this is one use of time. You can just see if you've been wanting to use time for the other use of time. And to be really honest, to be straight with yourself about that. But not in a condemning way. Just seeing it clearly. Because this clear seeing, it gives you the opportunity to really decide. And again, this honesty is very helpful. As he's saying in this section, we want to use it for this purpose and nothing more. So in this spirit of being open and honest to see, yeah, probably all of us here would say, I do want to be perfectly peaceful and calm. But then to see what you want to tack on to that. What are the conditions that you are putting on being perfectly calm and peaceful? What are those add-ons that you're adding on? Want to be perfectly peaceful, perfectly calm, have a nice house, have a good car. What else is on the list? Again, not to be hard on yourself as you see this, but just to really be truthful. And just to then come back to this mantra. Can you imagine what it means to have no cares, no worries, no anxieties, but merely to be perfectly calm and quiet all the time. That is what time is for, to learn just that and nothing more. This is a nice, quiet space and our perfectly quiet session on. Just know that you are perfectly loved, cared for.